Oh, okay. Let me go ahead and repeat. Now that I'm recording, I'm going to cover some itinerary planners today. I'm going to touch on two. I'm sure there's more out there. These are two that I really like. One is free because I'm all about if it's free, it's for me. One of them is a paid subscription, but does have a free trial, so you can kind of get into it. I'm currently on my free trial, but I absolutely know that I'm going to go ahead and transfer it over to the subscription. The subscription is only, I think, $9 a month, and it's amazing. Um, but guys, when we're booking travel, we're putting in our email address in the vendor system when it asks you for an email address because we want all of the confirmation documents to come to us first. There's a couple of reasons behind that. One of the big ones is I know it sounds terrible, but I hold those travel documents hostage until I get the credit card authorization form back. It's my way of making sure I'm going to get the proper documentation. So when I'm talking to my client, okay, great, we've gone ahead, we've booked your trip. I've gone ahead and I got all of your confirmation information that we need. I'm going to go ahead and email you over or I'm going to send you over the credit card authorization form. It's going to have pretty much everything filled in. All I'm going to need from you is to complete what's missing, sign and date it. It can be filled out with Adobe Sign and Fill, and then send that back to me along with a picture of your photo ID and a picture of the front of your credit card with all of the information except for the bulk of your credit card number. All I want to see is the last 4 digits of your credit card number. And then when they get, and I let them know I need to have that back within 24 hours. That way we can go ahead and secure the booking. The reason I do that, guys, is a couple of reasons. First of all, my client at that point knows that I'm protecting them. The credit card authorization form only allows me to charge their card a certain dollar amount. So, and plus I'm also double checking against fraudulent activity. So by getting those 3 pieces of documentation back, I'm verifying that the information on the credit card authorization form matches both their ID as well as their credit card. I'm verifying that they are authorized to use that credit card. And then I get that back from them. If I don't get that back from them within the 24 hours, then most of our vendors will allow us to cancel a booking within the first 24 hours if we believe it is fraudulent activity. So that's the reason around that. And as soon as I get that credit card authorization back within the first 24 hours, then at that point, I'm going to send them out their documentation, all of their confirmation numbers, all of their travel information. So at that point, they have everything that they need. So normally what a lot of people do when they first start out, and I did this too, is I would go ahead, get that confirmation email, and then I would go ahead and copy out the pieces that were prevalent, the things that they needed to know, and paste that into an email from myself. I then tried to get a little creative, and I came up with a little form that I did, and you can do that in Word, you can do that in PowerPoint, you can do that, however you choose to, but it becomes a little cumbersome. So, and they don't always look as professional as you would like them to. So I wanted to come up with some solutions to go ahead and combat that. So when you send out a document to your client, that they have everything that they need and they have all of the information, and it still looks very professional and put together. So the first one I want to show you is a freebie. Now I'm going to warn you guys, freebie doesn't mean it's always great, right? Freebie means that it's free, but it still works pretty well. So I was playing around with this when I found this. It's called inspirock.com, and it's inspirock.com. And I'll actually go ahead and copy this link and paste it into the chat. And again, this is the free option. So I found this and I thought, oh, that's pretty interesting. And it's kind of nice because it does some extras for you. So when you go here, you can set up an account. I do have an account. Again, it's free. There is a pay for subscription. I'm not even going to worry about that, but because the free does exactly what I need it to do. So you're going to enter in a destination. Now, I'm actually working off a booking that I did earlier. So this is going to have some information in it. I'm not going to put in as much detail as I normally would, simply because of the fact that this is an actual trip, and I am recording this. I don't want the confirmation numbers to be out there on the internet. So they are going to Kansas City. And the nice thing about this program is it does actually do a little search for you. So here you can see Kansas City, Missouri. They are going in September, so September 2nd through the 8th, and it is for 2 adults. You can actually go ahead and choose adults, teens, and kids. And then the nice feature about this is it actually has suggested activities, which is really nice if you're like, I don't know what to suggest to my client. So you can actually use this in conjunction with some of our booking engines so that you can say, hey, well, this looks interesting. Would you be interested in this? So you can actually go ahead and kind of filter what kind of activities they may be interested in. So popular, balanced, hidden gems, slow and easy, medium, or fast paced. So if you've got some millennials and they want to go ahead and do something amazing, then I would select fast paced. Or, you know, if you have some, I hate to use the term hipsters, they want to go ahead and see the things that most people don't, do the hidden gems, right? And then you can go ahead and filter things through that. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and leave it with popular and medium, and we're going to go ahead and click See Plan. Now this is really nice. It automatically populates a little photo. You can edit the dates here. And then we're going to kind of scroll down. Now you see it's just like, okay, start from end at, and it has Kansas City for 6 nights. It has a little map of Kansas City, tells you the dates, and it has a full calendar, right? And it actually tells you a little bit about Kansas City down here. And then add more destinations to your plan. So if you wanted to go something nearby like St. Louis or Branson, you could actually do that, right? But we're going to go ahead and click the day by day. And this is going to take us so that we can kind of build things in from day by day. Now notice it's telling you kind of September 2nd through the 8th. And like I said, it's giving you some suggestions. But right now I'm going to go ahead and click add, and then add a reservation. Now you can go ahead and forward things. I'm not even going to worry about this. I'm going to enter reservation details. And this is travel. So first thing I'm going to do is enter in their flight. Okay. And here you see you can go ahead and put an airline confirmation number. Now I'm not going to actually put the actual confirmation number from my client's trip. So I'm just going to go ahead and make something up. So blah, 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 blah. Okay. They are flying on American Airlines. So I'm going to type in American Airlines. Okay, and then you can put in the optional flight number. So I'm just going to make up a flight number. Okay, and then their departing airport. Now they are flying out of Burbank, and it's nice because it has the little search engines, right? So it can kind of see where you're going, and they have a layover in Phoenix. So here is Phoenix at the Sky Harbor, and they are departing on the 2nd, and the time that they are departing is 6:50 a.m. They are going to arrive on the 2nd in Phoenix, and they are going to land at 8:32 a.m. Okay, and then we can add another flight. So now their flight 2 again is going to be American Airlines, and flight. I'm just going to make something up. They are leaving Phoenix, and they are arriving at. And I happen to know the airport code. I used to fly into Kansas City a lot, so I know it's MCI. And they are departing on the 2nd from Phoenix, and they are leaving at 9:05 a.m. They are going to arrive in Kansas at 1:53 p.m. Okay. Make sure I've got everything right. Yep. And then we'll go ahead and we can go ahead and add another flight. Flight 3 is their return flight. So again, it's going to be on American. Right. And flight number, again, I'm just going to make something up. And they are departing MCI. And they are arriving in Phoenix. Whoops. It helped if I spelled Phoenix right. There we go. And they are leaving on the 8th, and their return flight is, let me flip my page. There we go. So they are departing at 8:30 a.m. They are going to get to Phoenix on the 8th, and that is going to be at 9:19 a.m. We're going to add the other flight, their 4th leg, and again, American Airlines. And I'm just going to make up a flight, and they are departing from Phoenix, and they are arriving back in Burbank. Oops, Burbank, okay? And again, on the 8th, they are leaving Phoenix at 10:06 a.m. and then they're going to arrive in Burbank on the 8th at 11:39 a.m. Okay, and then I'm going to click save. So now, guys, you can see here is that airline information. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and add another one. So I'm going to add a reservation and then enter reservation details. This one's for their car rental. Okay, so I'm going to go back to their car rental. Again, you can put in the booking confirmation number, right? I'm just going to add something. Agency name is going to be Hertz Rental Car. And the type is an oh gosh, I can't even spell today. You guys, people don't believe that I'm really that dyslexic. I am intermediate.
Yeah.
Okay. I know.
You got it.
Terrible how bad it is. I'm telling you, sport, utility, and then SUV. Okay, and they are going to pick it up at MCI, and they're going to return it the same place. They're going to pick up at, on the 2nd at 2:30 p.m. And they're dropping it off on the 8th at, and I'm working off of the itinerary that I already built for them. So that's why I'm kind of flipping, because I already have everything kind of built out for them. And they're dropping that off at 7:30 a.m. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click save. Okay, so as you can see now I have, and if I click on the 8th, it'll take me all the way down. Notice it has drop off. Okay, and so what I'm going to do here is now, as you can see, like every day there's something kind of planned. These are suggested activities. So guys, if you're like, okay, well, what would my client might be interested in? You can say, well, you know, what about the Lewis and Clark Historic Park, right? And maybe they would be interested in that. If not, you just mouse over the 3 dots and you delete the event and delete, right? Maybe they want to go to Country Club Plaza. If not, go ahead, delete the event, right? Maybe they want to go to the Museum of Art. If not, delete the event, right? But it's kind of giving you suggestions of things to do. And notice it says free time. You have free time between, add activities, right? Maybe they want to go to the War Memorial, or not, delete activity. But it's just nice because it's kind of giving you some suggestions. And I'm going to tell you the reason I booked this trip for this client is because they were actually going to see family. So, you know, they're not so worried about doing a bunch of things with them. They just want to go ahead and be able to see them. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete some of these activities. I'm going to go ahead, I'll leave a couple on here, you know, maybe as suggestions. And guys, if you see something that might be really interesting, then you can actually go ahead and go over to Viator or Expedia and book it for them, right? So like you can see, here's Union Station. So maybe we want to book Union Station. So I'll go over to Expedia. Oops, I can't spell. Geez, it's terrible. So Expedia tab and confirm that I am not a robot. And do it again, because once is never enough. They want to make sure you are not a robot. I always like to close down my Rakuten and that. I'm going to sign in. And then, boop-a-doo-doo, I'm going to go things to do in Kansas City, Mo, on, let's do the 4th, and we'll search. And I'll take a sip of coffee. Okay, so maybe there's something here that they want to do, right? This is a great way to again, think of things that they may want to do. So this one that they were showing was Union Station. So I can actually go up to the top and maybe go, come on, waiting for things to catch up with me. There we go, Union, right? And see what comes up. maybe something, maybe not, or maybe it's just not going to want to go ahead and do anything for me. But maybe if they're interested, like, okay, well, how about the Kansas City Saguaro and right? I could probably do that for them, right? But then you'll be able to go ahead and add these in. But I like the fact that it kind of gives you some suggestions, and whether you find it in Expedia or you find it in Viator, you know, it's just something that you can go ahead and add in. So we'll just leave that one in. I'm going to go ahead and delete just about everything else. Oh, here's that Sea Life thing, right? That was right at the top. Sea Life Kansas City. It was $19 per person. I could go ahead and book that and leave that one in here, right? Let's go ahead and take this Union Station out. And then we see, and it says tours from $19. So we can leave that in. Let's say they're doing that at 4 o'clock on that day. Maybe they want to see the Kansas City Zoo. I mean, let's see, is the zoo in there? They got zombies. I don't know if anybody's interested in zombies. Let's see if you can just search zoo. Maybe. No, not everything, but some things. And again, Expedia is still a little bit limited. I like Viator for my activities, but maybe I can leave that in. We'll go ahead and delete this. Delete the cinder block. Okay. Go ahead and delete. But again, guys, I kind of like the fact that it's kind of giving me some suggestions, some things that I may be able to do for them. Maybe they want to do an escape room. Maybe they wanted to do the zombie thing. Maybe they wanted to go to the park, right? This again kind of helps with the full service thing that we're doing, right? Making sure that they have things to do, right? Okay, so at this point, all we have in there is, you know, the zoo and the sea life thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and delete that one as well. Okay, so at this point, they kind of have, you know, some stuff to do, not just a boring little trip, but some stuff to do. Oh, I didn't even see this. Let's go ahead and delete these things. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and scroll up here. Now notice if I go over here, see it says add as round trip from Burbank to Kansas, right? So if I click on this, it's going to take all of that information and it's going to go ahead and go, oh, okay. And it says that departure, let me go back to it. Departure is at 6:30. So it's kind of telling you a little bit. So we'll just go ahead and update plan. Okay. So notice it's saying it's giving them 20 minutes, right? This, like, realistically, I would put it like 2 hours. I'm the kind of person, I want to get to the airport 2 hours, right? So here at this point, we kind of have everything kind of mapped out for them for things to do and their return flights, right? So that's really nice. Now, maybe you're not sure, you know, where to stay. It has the where to stay, guys. Realistically, I would just add that. Like, I can click add a reservation, enter a reservation detail, and I just go in and put in the hotel information. Again, you can go ahead and put in the booking confirmation, the hotel name, the phone number, the location. If you put in an address, guys, it's going to go ahead and give you put it on the map, check in and check out, right? So it's really nice that you can add things like that. And then, you know, you can go ahead and do another, so you can do car rental, travel, attraction, or other. So, you know, if you wanted to if you've gone ahead and booked some attractions, you can actually just book it in here. So it'll appear on their itinerary, okay? So at this point, I really like what we have here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna click the settings, and I'm gonna go ahead and set print itinerary. So you can choose kind of what you want to do. I don't ever worry about the checklist. The checklist was silly. So I've gone ahead and I'm going to go ahead and click print. And at this point, now it's going to kind of pull up the itinerary for me. And I can go ahead and select, I want to save this as a PDF, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click save. And then I'm going to save it in a file on my computer once this pops up. There we go. So I have client invoices. This is for the Malmos. And then notice I'd already done 7 days in Kansas because I really wanted to see what it looks like. Training. Okay, and then we'll click save. It's going to go ahead and save that. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull that up so you can see what it looks like. So client invoices, Malmos, and this is the one I just did. So now when you send out that email, guys, with with certain information, like I know some of our vendors, like this one in particular, had a check-in link so they could check in. So I'll include that in the body of the email, like here's some of your flight data, your check-in links, things of that sort. But then I will attach this PDF. So now at this point, they have like a nice little cover so they can take a little file with them, right? Tells them their dates. And the next page is their timeline. So it tells them, you want to depart from Burbank, and this is the flight time and the flight numbers, right? Has a little map of Kansas City, tells you when they're going to pick up their car rental, tells them about their free time, and then here's that sea life, and it tells them a little bit about the sea life adventure, right? Come on, I'm waiting for my computer to catch up with me. There we go. And then tells you about the zoo and then their free time. And then here's their departure date, right? So they're dropping off their car. This is their flight information. And the nice thing about this program, guys, is it gives you a little calendar you can print out, right? So they have their itinerary with a calendar, which I really like that aspect of it. I actually, depending on my client, if they have a very full itinerary with lots of things to do, I very well might use this in conjunction with the one that I'm using, because I like this calendar aspect. So you can see, like, they have all the different things, like this is their flight, this is their car rental, that's that sea life, there's the zoo, the leaving dropping off the car, and then their flight home, right? So then you would just go ahead and attach this to the email and say, please find your itinerary attached, right? So any feedback on that? Any questions on that? Oh, it looks like Amanda, we lost Amanda, but Linda, do you have any questions on that?
Nope, I do not. No, that's good.
Okay, good. Okay, so that is the free option.
I like that one.
Yep, it's really nice, especially for a free one, right?
Right.
Once you go back into your dashboard, so if you just click on the logo, it'll take you back to the main page. You can start another one, right? Or say like this one, you can see I've done it twice now. So this one was updated 4 minutes ago. You can see or edit it, or right up here, you can duplicate it, or you can actually just delete it. So I'll delete that one. Yes, delete. All right. So that way, and until your client has completed their travel, you can go in and edit and modify and resend that document. So that's really nice. Okay, so now I'm going to go over and talk about the pay for one. Okay, and it is called Trip Creator. So literally, it is. Let me make sure I have the create. Oh my gosh, there we go. Creator.com, I believe. Yep. So it's tripcreator.com. I'm going to go ahead and copy, and I'm going to paste that into the chat so that way you have it. Okay. So as you can see, this is, it's a little more robust. You can see that it's being used by a lot of different companies, and it'll actually show you some of the samples as you kind of get down with it. So see how our itineraries look. They got a self-drive in Italy for 7 days, Romania for 8, inside of Cambodia for 8, so on and so forth. And I mean, it's got really nice things. You can create offline content, dynamic, so on and so forth. So this is just really nice. And an app, right? So your clients can actually download an app and have their itinerary right there. So like I said, this is a paid for subscription. And it does say Trip Creators made the decision to provide new and existing Plus plan customers a free period until September 2020, right? So that's if you have the $70 one. I'm on the basic, that's $9 a month, right? You get a 10-day free trial. And I just started using this one because I was like, okay, I need to come up with something that's a little more robust. Let's give it a try. So I'm still within my 10 days on this one. But I am more than willing to pay $9 a month because I'm going to show you some of the amazing things that this one does for you. So once you go ahead and get logged in, you have your dashboard. You can upload your own logo. You can put in a bio about yourself and about your agency. And I haven't finished everything, but I did enough to just, I could get some itineraries out. And you can see I've kind of played around with it. Here's that one that I was talking about with the Malmos. So they're the ones who are going to Kansas City. So let me go ahead. I'm going to kind of put this trip together again, just so you can kind of see what it looks like. So it says create an itinerary. So we click create an itinerary, and then you get to name it. So again, I'm going to name it Malmos during training, and that way at least you can see exactly what it is. And then destination. Destination is Kansas City. Right? And then you can see it has my products because I've already built in this flight, but I'm not really worried about build. I want to show you how to do it from scratch. And if I put in MCI, here it is, right? So MCI Kansas City, so there it is. And then we go ahead and we pick the trip. So this is the 2nd through the 8th, 2 adults. And then I'm just going to leave it as the default appearance. You can play around if you're the creative type and kind of change it up a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead, now I'm going ahead and create it. So it is creating the form for me, so I can then go ahead and get this all together. So as you can see, like I've gone ahead and I've already built in some products. So if you do something quite a lot, like if you do a lot of activities in your area, you can absolutely like build in like the zoo, right? And have that available to you. But you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and click create an item. And you can see you got destinations and attractions, stays, experiences and activities, food and drink, transportation, personnel, so on and so forth. So if I click transportation, and now if I click subcategory, come on, you'll see I can choose bus, camper, charter flight, cruise, cycling, ferry, flight, helicopter, private transfer, rental car, taxi, train, motorcycle, right? A lot of different things. So this is a flight, okay? And then the title, I'm going to go ahead and make Burbank to Kansas City. Okay. And then you can add a description if you choose to. I'll tell you what I did in the description is I actually added in all of the flight information. I copied and pasted from my confirmation that I got from our vendor, all of the information, including their seat assignments and also their check-in information, so that they can go ahead and click the check-in link so they'll be able to get to it, okay? So airline, this is really nice. American. Notice it automatically populated American Airlines. I can go ahead and put in the flight info, and I'm actually going to go ahead and put in the flight number because I want you to see how nice this is. So this is lookup, right? There it is. It says it's going from Bob Hope, to Phoenix, right? It already knows what the departure time and the arrival time is. And then I can actually put in the supplier who I went through. I'm not going to worry about that. Tells you the duration. And then you can actually put in the flight class. So if I put in first class, look, first class, right? Maybe they're not first class. Maybe it's economy. There's economy, right? So it's really nice that you can do that. And then you go ahead and click add connection. And again, I'm going to go ahead and look up American. There's American Airline, and I'll put in the flight number 247 and then look up, and it knows it's going from Phoenix to Kansas City, right? Knows the departure time and the arrival time. And then I can go ahead and put in the class. They actually did first class, but I'm just going to go ahead and this time maybe it is, we'll just do economy, and we'll do premium economy, okay? And then you can go ahead and add to itinerary. So working on it. So now it has this information in here, right? So now let's say, okay, so let's go ahead and create an item. And this time let's go ahead and search activities. So let's see. Let's see what museum they have, right? So we'll just say art museum. And I know I probably spelled that wrong, but oh well. And location, and I can go ahead over here and let's see, was there an art museum? Let's just pull one of these. Oh, well, let's do the sea life thing. Okay, so I'll go over here, back over here, and subcategory activity, right? And we'll say sea life. Come on. I'm trying to copy it and it's just not letting me. There we go. Okay, fine. I'll click on it. Maybe it'll let me. There we go. Okay, so hopefully I'll be able to copy it somewhere. I'm a copy and paster if you haven't noticed. There we go. Copy. We'll go back over here and we'll paste. There we go. And then I can go back over here and normally they give me an address right here. So I can then go ahead and just copy that, go back over here and paste that in. There it is. And it gives them a little map, right? So I can So we'll say that they're going to do this on the 4th at, come on, there we go, at 1:30. Okay, until 2. Come on, 30. All right, and then we can go ahead and I can say Expedia if I want to, but I'm not going to simply because they don't need to know who I booked it through. They just need to know that's what they're doing. So add to itinerary. Oh, because I didn't change the date, the 4th. There we go. Add to itinerary. Come on. Oh, I didn't. Oh, because I said 2 a.m. I'm okay, really. There we go. Now it should go for. There we go. Now it's thinking. It's putting it on the itinerary for them. So now on the 4th, there it is. Right? So they already have that. Now I want to go ahead and add in their rental car, right? So, I can create an item. I can go transportation. I can go ahead and do rental car. And then rental car, whatever you want to call it, right? And then pickup location is going to be MCI right there. And then drop off is going to be MCI right there. So, okay. And then we're going to pick it up again at 2:30. I always forget to convert to military time, and they're going to drop it off on the 8th at 7:30 in the morning. Oh, here we go. And for this one, I'll put in like hertz so that they have it, but for right now, we're just going to go ahead and add to itinerary. And notice I have saved your product, so you don't have to do that, but at least you have that, right? So now they have their rental car in there. Now notice that I have Travel Protection Plus. I added that in as an additional product, right? So that they would have their travel protection. Okay. Now notice up here at the dollar amount. If I click the dollars, you can see this is the amount, everything right here, right? And then it has cost overview. So now I can go ahead and add their pricing in here. So this is going to serve as their receipt as well. So add new, and then I can go ahead and put in here. So with this one, I'm trying to remember where it is. I don't think I actually saved it on my piece of paper. So, I can put base trip includes taxes and fees, right? And put 1751.19. I'm just making it up right now, right? And then confirm additional. And then we'll add another one. And then this one will be trip protection. Oops. Full travel credit. And this one was, I think, 179.80 something. Okay, and then we'll confirm that. So right now at this point, their whole trip's night, and I went a little bit higher. I think this was much lower. So it was 1931.03, and then I click apply. Right, so now that's there, and if I close this, now here's their total trip price. Right, so now if I want to, what I can do is just click preview, and it's going to give them an overview. Look, it has little pictures, right? And then it tells them on the 2nd, they're going from Burbank to Kansas with a rental car. They're going to the Sea Life on the 4th, and then they're returning. Oh, why does it not say returning on the 8th? Did I not do that one? Oh, I guess I didn't. I didn't do the return flight. That was what I didn't do. So I actually, it's the same thing, right? So here's Kansas City to Phoenix. Because I've already built this, I can actually go ahead and just drop this down to the 8th. And there it already is, okay? Because I had already done this once. I already have built the product, so I can just drop that in, and there it is, okay? So now when I click preview, there we go. You'll see their trip. And I didn't add their rental car in the back. So, oh, it says on the 8th. I don't know why it's not showing the itinerary, but that's okay. That's okay. So the nice thing is when you do preview this, it's going to show you everything. So if we click the itinerary, it's going to tell them you're going to Kansas City, right? There's your flight information. Here's your car rental. You have no planned activities for the 3rd. You do on the 4th, nothing until the 8th, where you're going to drop off your car and you're going to catch your flight. Okay. And now what I did is when I was doing this, that paragraph that came up when I was describing the product, I actually put in the flight, all the flight information, their seat assignments, because we picked out their seats. They went first class. Like I said, I copied and pasted from the vendor email all of their flight information, including the links on how to check the baggage fees as well as check in. So all of that's included, right? And then we also have a map. So you'll see here is the map that is kind of interactive. So they can see, okay, we're going from Burbank, we're going to Phoenix, we're going to MCI, and there it is. And then we can go ahead and zoom in a little bit, move this around, right? We can zoom in a little bit more, right? And the more that they zoom in, and you think they're on a phone, they can just do the screen pinch, right? So here's all that information. Right? And here's that Sea Life Kansas City aquarium. So as they pinch in, they can actually see exactly where they're going for that aquarium, right? And then they have their pricing. So it tells them exactly what's going on, their durations for everything, and their total price. Notice down here, guys, it does say Vernon Turtle Travel, has Las Vegas, Nevada, our phone number, and our email address, right? And I can actually I connected to Facebook as well as LinkedIn. There are additional ones that you can do, right? And then I have an about us, and it tells you a little bit about our travel agency, and it does have our photo, our name, and exactly how to contact us. Now they can go ahead and export this, and when they click export, they can do a PDF. They can actually print this as well, and when it prints out, it'll have all of their information. So if they want to have like a paper copy, you'll see it's loading the preview right now. So they can actually change to their printer. They can save it to a PDF, however they choose. It's taking a little bit to pull up the preview. I apologize for that. There we go. So there's the preview. So that's everything that they need right there, right? I can go ahead and cancel if they want to do the itinerary. They can just print that out if they like. But the really nice thing that I like about this, I'm going to close this down. I'm going to go ahead and go back to here. So here is that itinerary, right? And if I click on it now and wait for it to come up, it has send. So from this, you can say, I want to email this to them, and it has an email that you can go ahead and just include with it, or it has a URL. So this is a live URL, which I really love. So you can copy this URL, include it in your email with any additional information that you want with it, and then as they're traveling, they can actually go ahead and just go to this URL. So if I click copy and go open another tab and hit paste, there's their itinerary, right? They have everything right there. And if I change something, if we adjust something, it automatically will adjust in that live URL. So if they're like, oh, well, we wanted to go ahead and change our car rental to an economy instead of the intermediate, you can actually do that. And then you can go in and adjust everything, and everything will be adjusted for them. It's a nice, really live kind of a thing. Okay. So any questions on that?
Nope.
Okay. Let me ask you, which one do you like better?
They're both nice.
Well, each of them has a little bit that I like from each of them. So like I said, with this one, I like the fact that I don't have to type in like American Airlines in its entirety, and then the flight number, and then when it's departing and when it's, arriving, and all of that information. I like
Right.
that it has that search engine, and it'll just automatically pull that up.
Yes.
So I really enjoy that feature about it, because I get tired of like, okay, what, and then if you mistype a flight number, that's my biggest fear, right? So I like the fact that it has that lookup for it. I also like that it has that live URL. So because I do have some clients who are like, oh, I changed my mind, I want to leave it this time, or can we go ahead and upgrade my room to this, or downgrade my room to this? And then as I do that, I can just make that change, and like, okay, I've gone ahead and made the changes, your itinerary has gone ahead and been updated. So that's really nice. With the other one that's free, there's no live URL. So I would have to make the manual changes and then reprint it out as a PDF and email it over to them, or send it over to them in Messenger. But I like the calendar feature, and I like the suggested activity feature. So
Right.
it's
Yeah.
it's kind of nice, because even if I wanted to, I could use both of them in conjunction. And like, well, I went ahead and I went one step further, and I gone ahead and I sent you a calendar of all of your events, right? And I could just choose to print out that one page. So I guess that's kind of the thing I like about it. But I just again wanted to give some options. So any questions on any of that?
No, the calendar's nice. I like that too.
Yeah.
So if you're booking a trip and you're booking something through Expedia,
Mm-hmm.
do they don't do any kind of itinerary for you?
No, not really. They just send you like a general confirmation. Like, here's your booking information. This is the confirmation number. This is kind of it, and what you're doing, or here's your necessary information. But that's it. There's nothing that kind of tells you step by step.
And
So it can look
so,
really garbled, so that was my whole thing, is like, it's good, but it's a lot of information. And when you copy and paste it, you can get stuck in that rabbit hole where you're constantly trying to make it look nicer. Or you can just make it very basic and just have the information. But then your client, I mean, God forbid you have that client who's not an avid reader, and this is like, okay, I've got my document, and when they get to the airport, they're like, oh, I didn't check in, right? And then they're like, oh, well, there's a line out the door for the check-in counter, I should have checked in online. And then they're calling you, and you're like, well, I sent you the check-in link. And like, you did? I didn't see it, it's in the email. And then you're sitting there and you're spending time like, okay, here it is, right? So it's good and it's bad. So that's the reason why I like I said, I used to do, like, at one point I was in a Word document, and I'd make it look a little prettier, and I'd have my logo on it, that way at least it looked a little more organized. And I had a little more creative license with it. But this one, I don't have to work so hard for that, right? And then, with a trip creator, like I said, you can add your logo, you can set up your profile, you can, set your company details, you can, customize your branding. It's really nice to go ahead and just have all that information. So, again, and it also has a CRM included in it, a customer retention manager. So it's nice that it's kind of a solution for two things. Whereas this trip planner it's really just very, here's your trip planner. You can't really maintain your clients in it. So that's kind of another nice thing about it. And then, like I said, it has that product. So if you're doing a lot of travel insurance, and I'm going to tell you right now, travel insurance is almost mandatory with my clients at this point. I'm like, no, you've got to have travel insurance. So I can just build in all those different travel insurance plans, and I can just click and drop them in. Right. So that's another plus to it for me. So, any other questions?
Not here, not for me.
Well, you're the only one left. I think Amanda dropped off because she was dealing with the kids, and so plus she knew that I was recording this. So with that being said, thanks Linda for joining me. And I will go ahead and get this processed and uploaded hopefully in the next day or so, and I'll get that added to our team chat as well as our team page so that you guys will be able to have access to it. Okay.
Great.
I appreciate you coming. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. If I can find my record button.